Hello everyone, myself Jalaj Nagpal and I welcome you all to AduTap. In today's lecture of Phenonomics series, we are going to cover and decode a very important topic regarding financial market. In this particular lecture, we are going to cover very important concepts related to initial public offer, also known as IPO, and we will also cover the difference between IPO as well as an FPO. FPO is also known as follow-on public offer. So be with me for next 10 to 15 minutes and you will have a complete conceptual clarity regarding IPO and FPO. Before moving ahead, I would like you to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as to our Telegram channel. The link of the same is given in the description box below. So let's start with the first, understanding the relevance of this particular topic. As I have already told you in the part 1 of the financial market that this particular topic is very important for RBI grade B as well as for SEBI grade A. Even in the year 2022, in SEBI grade A phase 1, there was a conceptual check question on this chapter, financial market, and this particular question will just take 5 seconds of your time to answer and you can gain two very important crucial marks in your exams. Moreover, in the beginning of the slide, I have also mentioned that this particular topic is must do for RBI grade B as well as for SEBI grade A. There is a reason behind it. Why? If you see in all these 5 years, more than 30 marks questions have come from this particular single chapter only. So this particular chapter is again a must do for all of you. So let's now begin with a short revision so that we can be able to relate our part 1 with our part 2. In part 1 of this particular lecture, we have covered all of this particular bunch of topics. We have covered what are financial market, what are different types of financial market. We have covered capital market, money market. Under capital market, we have covered equity market and debt market as well. And then we have seen major features of equity capital. So all these questions have been covered up. In the ending part of part 1, we have seen that how offering an equity market can be distributed between primary route as well as between secondary route. Now, in this particular part, we will be going deep into the primary route. So, if you have not watched the part 1 of this particular video, then I request you to watch part 1 first, because then only you will be able to understand part 2. And the link of the same part 1 is given in the description box below. So let's start. In today's topic, as I have already told you, we are going to cover offering in the equity market via primary route. This is the key term over here. And I have already covered what primary as well as secondary route mean. So under offering under equities market, we have this whole bunch of topics. The first is public issue, the second is right issue, and the third is preferential, and fourth is private placement. In this particular chapter, we are going to cover all these topics. We are going to cover public issue and we are also going to cover right issue. In next part, that is part 3, we are going to cover preferential issue as well as private placement. So let's first start with a very important component of public issue. See, before moving ahead, I would like to tell you that why companies goes for public issue. See, many companies are there who look for expansion. They need fund. So they generally offer some stake of the equity to some general public. So that particular component is known as a public issue, that you offer some amount of shares directly to the general public. And largely it has been seen that public issue is applicable to those particular companies who are offering shares to more than 200 people. Okay, now public issue is again divided under two parts. The first part is known as IPO. IPO stands for initial public offer. Under initial public offer, you make a debut on stock exchanges. We have heard like in past also that Sachin Tendulkar today is making a debut on the cricket pitch. So in IPO, companies make a debut on the stock market. For example, let's understand, recently Paytm IPO was out. Like, I know there will be many sad stories regarding Paytm IPO, but let's take an example of Paytm IPO. Let's assume this is a stock market, okay? Or you can say it's a stock exchange as well. For example, this can be NSE or a BSE. Okay, we all know that on NSE as well as on BSE, there are multiple investors who are already sitting over here. So we can see there are retail investors, anchor investors, there are different type of big mutual funds also who are present over there. And we will be covering different types of investor in part 3 as well. So for now, just understand that there are different types of investors who are sitting over here. Now this particular company, Paytm, okay, Now this particular company is looking for funds, they are looking for expansion. So what they will do is they have different routes. So let's assume that Paytm choose the route of IPO, and as we all know, as I've already told you, that when company chooses a route of IPO, they are making a debut, they are making their first appearance on the stock market. So for IPO you have to understand that Paytm will be coming to this particular market, and they will be listing out their shares on this particular market. After IPO, Paytm will become the part of stock market. So this is the first and the foremost condition which you should understand, is that before IPO, company issues share to the particular set of investors. In our case, Paytm has issued share to all these investors. Okay, and after IPO, company becomes a part of the stock market. Okay, so let's move ahead in the story of IPO. IPO again can be categorized into two particular parts. The first is fresh issue and the second is OFS. OFS stands for offer for sale. So let's first start with fresh issue. Under fresh issue, the company issues new set of shares to the new shareholders. So for example, Paytm. Okay, Paytm has issued new shares to all these investors who are sitting over there. As simple as that. But under offer for sale, first let's understand the existing shareholder of Paytm. Like say we can see that there is a SoftBank of Japan who is already an investor into the Paytm. Now Paytm comes to for stock market. Now they comes for IPO. So now SoftBank says that we want to offload our shares in the Paytm. So what they will be doing is they will be selling their stake to the new shareholders. So this is known as offer for sale. When an existing shareholder sells their shares to the new public, it is known as offer for sale. But under fresh issue, new shares are sold to the investors. So this is the most important criteria between fresh issue and OFS. I am again repeating, under fresh issue we sell new shares to the public. Under OFS, existing shareholders sell their stake to the new public. So as simple as that. Now let's try to decode the real life example of Paytm IPO. Okay, so this is a screenshot which I have directly taken from the very popular financial newspaper which is known as Live Mint. Let's try to read what this particular newspaper says about. The IPO of the company compromises, the IPO which is the Paytm IPO compromises fresh equity shares worth of 8,300. So this is how you have to read newspaper from now. You can see many IPOs are hitting the Indian stock market. So you have to understand what this particular news article says. The IPO compromises the issuance of a fresh equity worth of 8,300 crore and offer for sale by existing shareholders to the tune of 10,800 crore. So now let's take that example into reality. Paytm is looking for 18,300 crore. Okay, Paytm is looking for 18,300 crore. Now, how will you break that 18,300 crore? That is already given by Paytm in the draft prospectus. So they have said that the fresh equity is of 8,300 crore. Okay, and what is this OFS component? OFS, I have already told you, it's the existing shareholder selling their stake. OFS amounts to 10,000 crore. 10,000 crore. Okay, so total becomes 18,300 crore. So this is how a real life example of IPO looks like. First you have to remember the definition of IPO, then you have to remember the criteria. The only criteria is that company is making a debut on the stock market, and then you can also understand that IPO can be broken into two parts. The first is fresh issue, the second is offer for sale. And I have also shown you a real life example that how an IPO works and how an IPO structure looks like. Now let's move on to another component of public issue, which is known as FPO. FPO refers to future on public offer. Yeah, so you can also say it follow on public offer. In many standard books there is a difference between the terms of FPO, but according to ADUTAP, and we have already circulated this in the concept notes as well, that FPO stands for follow on public offer. Follow on public offer are all for those companies who are already listed on the stock exchange. Now they are looking for fund expansion. So the major difference between IPO and FPO is that the listing criteria. If a company is not listed on stock exchange, then they will choose the route of IPO. if a company is listed on a stock exchange and still they are going for public issue, then they will be looking for FPO. So again, here the company has to be unlisted, here the company has to be listed. This is the key summary between the difference between IPO and an FPO. Under FPO again, you can see there are two issues, that is fresh issue and OFS. But generally it has been seen that FPO is come with OFS only. But still, going with the conceptual clarity, we have to understand these two. And as I've already told you, fresh issue and OFS, the same applies to this particular category as well. Now coming to an important component of disinvestment. You might have seen that many companies in the of late, or I would say in the recent past, have been disinvested by the government of India. If you see this particular company, which is known as NTPC, was disinvestment by the government of India in the year 2017. So government sell its shares to the new shareholders. Now why it is known as an FPO? Because NTPC was already listed on the stock exchange. So this is the major and the key difference. As I've already told you, another company, let's take BPCL, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited. Government has offloaded its 53% stake. Now why government is selling their stake? It has its own reason. But we have to understand this particular component with the term of financial market. So BPCL will be categorized as an offer for sale. Why? Because the shares of this particular company was already listed on the stock exchange. They cannot choose the route of IPO. Okay, IPO will be only chosen by those companies who are unlisted, like Paytm, Zomato. Although these particular company was started their operation back in 2010, but now they have come to public issue for raising more and more funds. Okay, so I think the difference between IPO and an FPO and different categories of share issue are now clear to you. Now let's move a very small topic, which is known as rights issue. See, as I have already told you that under IPO, a company makes a debut into the stock market. Okay, but what happens is now under right issue, if a company is already listed on stock exchange, here for example, let's say Airtel is already listed on stock exchange. They can either opt for FPO now because they are listed on stock exchange, or either they can opt for other an option. One of the key, another option is right issue. See, Airtel is already listed here. So what they will do is they will issue some more shares to the existing shareholders. Okay, so those who are already the part of investors of Airtel, Airtel will issue more shares to them. So this is the whole concept of right issue, that you give rights to the existing shareholder first, and you will not give your shares to the new shareholders who are sitting outside the company. So this is just a small topic, but it is a small topic, as I've said, but you know, SEBI as well as RBI are very infamous for asking questions from this small topic. So there is a concept which is known as renouncing of rights. See, under renouncing of rights, as I've already told you, that shares will be issued to the existing shareholder. Now existing shareholder has a right, either he can accept those shares, or either he can resell those shares, or either he can say reject it completely. So when the share is rejected completely, then it is termed as renouncing of share. Or when the share is resold to another person, it is also known as renouncing of shares. And this is a very easy concept to understand, that if a share is not accepted by the existing shareholder, will be termed as renouncing of shares. So now let's test your knowledge based on some PYQs, that is previous year question. This particular question was in SEBI graded 2022. This will take hardly 5 seconds of your time to complete it. During a right issue, if the investor sold the right to somebody else at a price, what is this called? A very easy, a very cakewalk question, I would say rather. Now, let's take your concepts with this particular conceptual check questions. These are, I am again saying, moderate level question. Okay, these are moderate level questions, so please pay your attention and answer. Read the question and then answer appropriately. In first, you have to identify the incorrect statement, and if you are able to answer this, then your conceptual clarity is really good. And in second, you have to identify the correct statement. Okay, so please read all the statement carefully, and I need the answer of all the 3 questions in the comment box below, and please answer them diligently. Do not copy or do not do that stuff. Please answer them diligently. and meet you in the next lecture. In next lecture we will see preferential issue. In next lecture we will also see private placement. We will also cover different types of investors. I have already told you that we will see what is retail investor, what are different types of institutional investors, and if time permits we will also cover the process of IPO. So meet you in the next lecture and keep preparing, and I hope you will be healthy as well.